Welcome to the Depth Dive. We're the show that takes complex topics, pulls them apart, and gives you the insights you need, fast. Today, we're looking at something that seems, well, pretty simple on the surface, flower arranging. But our sources suggest it's way more than just putting stems in water. It can actually fundamentally shift the energy of a room, and maybe even your mood.
Oh, absolutely. It's true. I mean, yes, they look beautiful, that's obvious, but fresh flowers bring life into a space. But think about how they can, soften up a really minimalist room, maybe one that feels a bit cold, or just making an ordinary office desk feel different, better. Our sources really point to this idea of biophilia, that inherent pull we have towards nature. And bringing flowers inside, it can genuinely reduce stress, lower cortisol. It creates this subconscious feeling of calm, of abundance even. It's a subtle but really powerful way to inject some vitality into your day-to-day. A good arrangement, it just says, someone here cares about beauty, about well-being.
That's a great point about biophilia. It really changes the perspective, doesn't it? From just decorating to something more like intentional well-being. Okay, so our mission today is to sort of unpack these secrets, give you some practical ways to use flowers to easily lift your space, lift your mood. Let's start with some basics, things maybe even experienced folks might not always think about.
Exactly. And the first thing, it sounds basic, but it trips people up. The vase, the container. It's not just about holding water. We tend to just grab whatever's nearby, right? But the right vase really sets the stage for the flower. So for those big, bold blooms, think hydrangeas, peonies, you want something low and wide. It lets their natural round shape really dominate, gives a strong anchor. But if you have tall, elegant flowers like lilies or maybe gladiolus, then a taller, maybe slimmer vase works better. It gives support, lets that line shine. It's really about letting the flower itself dictate the form.
Right. I've definitely done that, tried to stuff big flowers into a skinny vase. It never ends well, does it? Okay, so we've got the right stage. What's the next crucial thing for making them last? Our sources stress this, I know. We all know the angled cut, but is there more?
Yeah, you hit it. The angle cut is key for water uptake. Everyone knows that one. But two other things often get missed. First, recutting the stems every couple of days. Seriously, that filth coat can seal up faster than you think, especially if your shears aren't super sharp. And second, crucial one, strip off any leaves that will end up below the water line in the vase. Those submerged leaves, they just rot, create the bacteria that clouds the water and clogs up the little capillaries in the stems. And boom, your flowers die way faster. It's a simple habit, but makes a huge difference.
Oh, the capillaries, that makes so much sense. Easy to forget they're living things needing more than just water. Okay, so stems are prepped, vase is chosen. Now the artistry, right? Our sources talk about this triangle method. Sounds geometric, but apparently it's really intuitive for building great arrangements. What's the deal with that?
Well, what's interesting is it's less about a rigid triangle and more about visual balance, creating flow. You basically build it in layers. Almost like sculpting, Start with your focal flowers. These are your stars, maybe just one, maybe three. The ones that grab your eye first set the whole mood. Then you add supporting flowers. Think of them as like the backup singers. Fillers, but with purpose. Lisianthus, maybe mini roses. They complement the main flowers, don't fight them. And finally, you weave in greenery, or what we call line flowers. Eucalyptus is great, ruscus, even some soft branches. These add movement, depth, that sort of natural, slightly wild feel. They often break out of the main triangle shape, gives it that organic flow. It just helps guide the eye, creates a nice visual path.
I can totally see how that creates that main character vibe you mentioned earlier. Makes it feel like a composition, not just a bunch of flowers. But okay, the big one for me, and I bet for a lot of listeners, color. It feels intimidating. What did our sources say about making color choices easier? Like foolproof?
Yeah, color is where the emotion really comes in, right? It sets the whole tone. Our deep dive found 3 approaches that are pretty much guaranteed to work. Each gives a different feel. First up, monochrome. This doesn't just mean one color note. It means exploring shades and textures within one color family. Imagine all white creamy roses, crisp lilies, maybe some delicate baby's breath. It just reads as elegant, very calming, very sophisticated.
Okay, so nuance within one color. Got it.
Yeah.
What if you want a bit more color, but still want it to feel harmonious, not chaotic?
That's where neighboring hues come in. Think colors right next to each other on the color wheel, like soft pinks melting into gentle peaches, or maybe blues easing into lavenders. Give this really soft, romantic, natural vibe. Very soothing, perfect for spaces where you want that gentle, inviting feeling.
Nice. Okay. And then for the bold statement, the arrangement that really grabs attention.
Then you go for complementary colors.
Yeah.
These are total opposites on the color wheel. Think classic red and green. or a really rich purple with a bright sunny yellow. Blue and orange is another great one. This creates energy, a real dynamic pop. It's fantastic in modern spaces or anywhere you want the flowers to be a real focal point. And actually, here's a pro tip from the sources. The more neutral your room is, beige walls, simple furniture, the bolder you can go with your flower colors. They won't clash, they'll just sing.
That makes perfect sense. The room is the canvas. Okay, so thinking about the room, beyond just how we arrange them, where we put them matters too, right?
Yeah.
What did the sources suggest about matching flowers to different spots in the home?
Totally. It's all about the intention for that space. Like a living room centerpiece, you often want something substantial there, something that anchors the room, uses that biophilia effect. So go bigger, those bold hydrangeas we mentioned, or cheerful sunflowers, lush peonies when they're in season, they draw the eye in. But for a dining table or a coffee table where people gather, the priority changes. It's about connection. So low arrangements are better. Think elegant roses, maybe some ranunculus in simple jars or shallow bowls. Keeps the sight lines clear, lets people talk easily across the table.
Good point. And what about places where scent could be a big factor, like entryways or bathrooms?
Oh, definitely lean into scent there. Don't underestimate it. Even just 1 or 2 stems of something really fragrant, eucalyptus, freesia, maybe lavender, can completely change how a space feels when you walk in. Scent connects directly to memory, to emotion. It's powerful. And for your really personal spots, like a desk or your bedside table, our sources say keep it simple, minimal, soothing. Maybe a few daisies, some delicate hyacinths, even a single carnation in a little bud vase. It's like a quiet little moment of beauty. Doesn't overwhelm the space. Creates a little sanctuary.
It really sounds like every placement has its own job to do, its own feeling. So for anyone listening who's thinking, okay, I want to try this, but maybe feels a bit overwhelmed or just wants easy wins, what are some of those workhorse flowers? The ones that are easy to find, easy to arrange, and last pretty well, the unsung heroes.
Yeah, there are definitely some powerhouses for effortless beauty. Take carnations. People sometimes dismiss them, but they're incredibly versatile, last ages, and they're affordable. Their ruffled texture can be really soft and pretty, great for everyday spaces. Then daisies, just pure cheerfulness, right? Simple, unpretentious, perfect for brightening up a little corner, very casual, optimistic vibe. Hydrangeas, we mentioned them for impact. They give you that big, lush look almost instantly. Just remember, they drink a lot of water. Keep that vase topped up. Eucalyptus. Great for that clean herbal scent, yes, but also amazing for structure and texture in almost any arrangement. Works beautifully in entryways, bathrooms, lasts forever too, even when dried. And when you can get them, peonies. Just the ultimate romantic, blousy flower, a total seasonal treat. They make any space feel instantly luxurious. But the main takeaway here really is don't be afraid to play. Nature is forgiving. Experimenting is how you find your own style.
That's really inspiring. It's amazing how much beauty, how much positive feeling we can create with just a few stems and a little bit of thought.
Exactly. Flower arranging, it's more than just making something pretty. It's an act of intention. It's a way to ground yourself, even just for a few minutes. When you take that time trimming the stems, thinking about color, finding the right spot, you're not just decorating, you're doing something mindful, connecting with nature, with beauty, with your own sense of well-being. It's a really good reminder that even things that don't last forever, like flowers, can have a truly lasting impact on how we feel, psychologically too.
That's spot on. The flowers themselves might fade, but that feeling they bring, that little lift, that sense of calm or energy, that can stick around for days. So here's your thought to take away from this deep dive. This week, maybe just grab a small bunch of flowers, grocery store, doesn't matter, bring them home, arrange them simply, and just notice. Notice how your space feels. And more importantly, notice how you feel. Does anything shift? What stands out to you from everything we talked about today?